but I don't think anyone actually navigates to my homepage. Like they're on Google and they type in that long search, and then they navigate to that page, and they never probably ever go to the home page, let alone read all the stuff I wrote about Orange County. Like, I don't think it happens.
No one goes to your homepage unless they're lost, right? Because Google wants to deep link into these sites, right? They want to get the person directly to the question that the answer to the question they're asking, right? Which means like going directly to your neighborhood page. And if they click that logo up at the top, it's like they didn't find something on that page and now they're lost, right? And so they're going back to the beginning to start traveling the maze over again. Right. And that's always stuck with me. And it's like, okay, yeah. The homepage visits, they're probably not going there, because they really want to be there. That's a distributing web page.
So now that you're saying that, I'm thinking like if someone does go to my homepage, it should just be like the very first thing they should see should be like all the things you can navigate to, like all the cities maybe, like maybe that should be the first.
What? Okay, so you talked a little bit about AI. I guess I'm curious what kind of technology you're using to do all this work.
Honestly, I don't use a whole lot. I use Google Search Console, and I look at like how people are navigating to my site, what they're typing in, what pages they're looking at, and then I'll go and review those pages and try and improve them and try and improve everything about them, not just like the content on the page, but on a Real Geeks page, it has like the title. I mean, I'll make sure the title is perfect. I'll go back through and there's every little thing and make sure my house is on the top, make sure there's 100 of them, make sure everything's right, and then maybe update my content a little bit, make sure all my images have like descriptions and stuff too. So I use Google Search Console, and then I use ChatGPT. I use ChatGPT a lot, and I'll just like say, hey, you're a SEO coder. Make sure I'll take the existing code that I have, whether I like it or not, and I'll put it on there.
Yeah.
And then I'll start having a conversation about that code. And like, if you were, this type of person, an SEO specialist, like how would you draw more traffic to this code? What do you think could be better? And like, I recently learned about breadcrumbs, which is something with SEO, and I've been adding that to all my pages. And then I learned about schema a long time ago, but I had no freaking idea how to do that. But now
the AI is teaching you how to do that.
ChatGPT just teaches me how to do it. So now I'm like, I'm not a coder. Like I still have to be like, oh wait, I need a space and then a / here. Like, it's nuts. Like I'm not trained in this stuff, and I'm still not trained in it. Like that's not my specialty, but ChatGPT has made it like easy. So now I'm like, when ChatGPT spits out a new code, I have to probably go back through and like in breadcrumbs, it adds like a link to your, or maybe that schema, it'll add links to your like Facebook page and stuff. And that helps build authority that you're that real person. And it can put your office address in there in the schema. And then it can put it puts like lots of cool little things in there to kind of help build that authority.
Well, so talk to me about the prompting, because it sounds like you start out with a prompt that's like, okay, you're an SEO coder, and I need help with this existing page, and so you're giving it the page. But does it take like a couple of back and forths to get the AI, sort of on a parallel thought track as you?
Yeah, for sure. I'm learning about how to do proper prompting. So here's one. I just pulled one up. You are an SEO specialist and good with Google Search Console. I have been working on a campaign for selling your home in Orange County with a specific page. I revamped the page. So I basically just try to tell it as much as I possibly could. And then, oh, this is when I had like my impressions dropped to 0. So then I'm like, look at my page, and it kind of tell me why it might have dropped to 0. So now I'm just trying to have a conversation with an actual pro.
So how many back and forths did you have with the AI before you felt like it was telling you something that was really good?
I mean, when I first started using AI, like I mean, I'm just experimenting for sure, and I probably just cut and paste some stuff and threw it on my site, and that probably hurt me. That probably hurt me. But now, like, I can have like this conversation about this specific page, which is super important to me. So, I mean, I probably had quite a bit of back and forth here, but then me like I update the page, update the code, and then put the code back on here. Like, okay, now go through this code again and look for any problems. And then go through the code again, like, because it makes mistakes all the time.
Hmm.
Like it just always makes mistakes. So you have to just learn you have to keep learning and asking it like, okay, there was one line of code here that looks like, you're talking about an area, a city, and I'm trying to talk about Orange County as a whole. So why did you add that? And then it's like, oh, it was my mistake. I added that. Let's go back and make it the broad, just Orange County. Because then I made specific pages for selling your house in Costa Mesa, selling your house in Anaheim. So I made like a selling page for Orange County, which does okay. And then I made a selling page for every city. Then I made a selling your page fast. Then I made getting a cash offer page. Like these are the roads I go down, like in my head. Like I'll think of one cool thing, like selling your house in Orange County, and I'm like, shit, that's gonna lead to like 6 months of work because I gotta do every city. And like if you type in like, I mean, selling your house in Orange County, like I'm never ever gonna beat Zillow out for that. So now I have to like really get granular with that. And then so then like every little like long tail two keyword page like ocean view homes under $1 million, like now it's like selling your ocean view home that's under $1 million.
Maybe something I might try is I think that Claude is really good at coding, like way better than the others, but its writing is not necessarily as good as Gemini or Google. So it might be interesting for you to try um, assigning parts of the task to different AIs. And then the other thing that I think you were getting to there was I never think like it's rare that an AI, I call it like one-shotting. You know, you ask it a question and it just like nails it immediately. It's usually you got to go back and forth with it, like 5 times to really hone in on, okay, I'm looking for this and this style and I like this, and forget about that thing over there, or like stay focused on this, to get it to the right spot where all of a sudden you're having a conversation that is productive.
Yeah. And by the way, that whole interaction that you were just describing is like minutes,
Yeah.
minutes versus like if you were trying to do that before AI, it's months. Like, I mean, AI has helped me update all my pages. Just the coding part alone has really helped. And then, you definitely like when you start building, like selling your house in Anaheim, like selling your house in every city. And if you're starting small with a neighborhood, you're going to do selling your house in this specific neighborhood, and then the next neighborhood, and then the next neighborhood, and then the next neighborhood. Like when I first started, like the content was pretty much the same, but like that doesn't differentiate you at all. Like you need to now I'm going back and updating the code on all those, and I'm making the content and the code a little bit different. Like in schema, there's a zip code schema, right? So you could even have like in the schema have a neighborhood schema for every neighborhood that you want to write a page about selling a house in the specific neighborhood. And ChatGPT can help you with that because I certainly can't. But it'll know when you type in schema, like I want the schema to reference this specific neighborhood
Yeah.
and this, because I'm writing a page about selling a house in this neighborhood, and I want the schema to use the zip code and that neighborhood and that city name, and that I'm the best real estate in this neighborhood. Like put all that in the schema.
All right, everyone, homework. Go talk to your AIs about, schemas and title tags and, have it do a little bit of work for you. I want to go back to another thing that you had brought up, which was like doing a video. And so I'm curious, like how much other, like we've been talking a lot about content creation in the form of writing, and then creating pages for SEO. But are you doing any, like video production or, social media or anything like that?
I am not. So I did, I think almost a year, like 50 videos of the market report, but I hated it. I hated it. I don't think they got views and it didn't rank. Like I hated it. So, and it took me all day. It just took me all day. So, and then I was like, I learned like Final Cut Pro and how to edit my videos on there. And then I'm like, oh, I got to make it look perfect. And it's just, I hated it. So I stopped. And then I got back into writing my report and posting it. And that's where things started really help happening.
So you figured out where your strength was, and then you just focused there.
Yeah, I mean, YouTube, like people are great on video, and I think it probably does work. But like if you put sometimes I see videos on like Instagram or whatever, and it got 30,000 views. It's like, did it really? Are those people in India are trying? Like, I don't know. Like, I just wasn't. I just didn't buy into that. But that said, I mean, video, I'm not a video guy and I think it works. I think it works, but I found what works for me. And I don't know if like uploading a bunch of YouTube videos on your Real Geek site is great. I think it's probably okay, but like I felt like it slowed that one page down. So I actually deleted a bunch of pages off of that. I mean, a bunch of videos off of that page.
Oh, I can answer this question actually. So putting video on your site is a great idea from a user like conversion standpoint. Putting a lot of videos on your site, or sorry, on one page, so like I don't know, more than two, is a bad idea. So because basically, if you think about what's happening on the browser side, like every time it sees a video embed, it's going and pulling that from YouTube. And so by the time you've got like third, fourth, fifth one of those, things are real slow. So yeah, you don't want it like one, awesome. Two, okay. Three, we're going doing too much.
Well, that was a mistake I made, and I just realized it by checking my page out and seeing that it was slow to upload. So I blew out all those videos because I probably had a lot of videos on my housing report page.
Well, so I think that's another little technical tip that you're doing that a lot of people don't think about, which is page speed. So are you using Google's page speed tools, or
Yes,
were you?
yeah, 100%. Like when I was doing this last one, they told me to test it on a few different places with Google or within Google Search Console. So I'll always like check there not always, sorry, but I do check, especially like this was a problem because my impressions went to 0 on a page that I'm trying to build up.
Let's maybe do like the agony and ecstasy of being an SEO guy, right? So you build out a page. Was the page like prior to a bunch of effort, like getting any sort of impressions? Like, or actually, let's rewind all the way. What page was this that went to 0?
Selling your house in Orange County.
Okay, so kind of important.
But also a big page that's going to be like hard to rank for anyways.
Right, right. And so what was the idea that you implemented like right before you lost all your impressions?
I think what happened was I changed the coding on it to try and get more traffic. So I was like adding breadcrumbs and adding schema, and that was the main change that I made. And I probably updated some content on there too. So that was the main thing that I changed. And I wasn't getting a lot of impressions to begin with anyways. So it wasn't like I wasn't getting like 1,000 impressions a month. It was probably more like just 100.
And so you made the change, and then what was your tip off that something was wrong? Was it going into Search Console and looking at that page and seeing that impressions had gone to 0, or was there another indicator like there's just no leads coming from this thing? I need to figure it out.
Search Console tells you what pages are doing well. But that I was just on this little this like point in time of trying to capture more sellers. Like people had been talking about sellers, and so I was trying to build all those pages out. So I was looking at Search Console, and then that's when I noticed it. It wasn't because that was the only way I noticed it.
Got it. And so then what did you change once you noticed, okay, hang on, this went in the wrong direction? What was your corrective action plan?
Okay, so this is when I started having this conversation with ChatGPT to try and fix it. And so, it told me first test the URL, make sure it's crawlable, go to it told me like another site to go to, http status.io. Made sure there was no like indexing blockers on there.
So you explored some of the basics of like why it wouldn't be in the index or why Google wouldn't be picking it up.
Yes, just went through, just kept doing all these tests just to test it and see if I could figure out what was going on. And then I rewrote the code, rewrote the schema, and like I didn't catch some of the errors on the schema originally too.
Mm.
It made mistakes, let's just say that. It had made mistakes. I had like it was referring another page in here too. It had like a Mesa Verde house for sale on my selling page, so I didn't probably catch those mistakes the first time through.
Did you learn anything about like how to ensure quality the first time from an AI? So like if it is hallucinating like it was, how would you catch it the next time?
I mean, I scan it. Now I literally read everything before I post it.
Yeah. Yeah. So it's human in the loop. Like you know best.
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
yeah.
there's no, yeah, I just post and I can get on like a run of doing a bunch of pages at one period of time, and then, you know, and a lot of the scheme is very similar, but I'll like have my checkpoints in there that it tends to want to mess up or change. So then it's a little bit easier when you're scanning, you're just looking for those specific things. But it's like schema is literally like, this long or whatever on the front end or back end, depending on how you do it. But so it's not that hard. It's a 30-second scan. It's a 5-second scan and 30 seconds to make the changes.
When you have these conversations with ChatGPT, is it like a new, so I would imagine it's all inside your account, but it's like a new chat every time?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Have you played it all with like providing kind of a basic context document for ChatGPT to digest before like really getting into the conversation?
No, I'm not like you mentioned trying out some different AI. I mean, I'm not great with AI. I'm still learning all that
Yeah.
stuff. I don't spend a lot of time on it. I just try and get what I need out of it and move on. But even though it's not maybe the fastest or best way to do it, but I have tried like another coding AI, and it just I couldn't communicate with it. And so I just went back to ChatGPT because I'm comfortable there. I could communicate with it. I could get done what I need done in a short period of time.
Well, and for a Real Geek site where you're going to end up cutting and pasting the output anyway, that's probably ideal. No, so the idea would be this. It's like a document that is sort of like an SOP or user manual that you would hand to like a VA or something, someone like that, if you were employing those. So it would be like, this is who I am and what we do, and these are the areas that we serve. And when you roll code for me, I need you to check these 5 things and ensure qualities like this. And this is our brand voice, and this is our messaging, like, so basically just chunking out like basics, that it would want to refer to. Like, and another thing that can be really handy in those documents is things to go read before it implements solutions. So like, I want you to go read this website on SEO best practices before you give me recommendations. And that can dramatically improve the quality of the responses that you get back.
So because I mean I started writing like in Google Docs, all these docs for like what we do when a lead comes in,
Mm.
just in case I hire somebody to handle all my leads. Like this is
Yep.
exactly what you do. So there's just like the operating procedure for this action. And then for ChatGPT, I have like 2 different ChatGPT documents that are like ongoing, like really long, lots of stuff on them. But one of them is for my market report. So when I start my market reports, I paste this on there for my market report page as the first prompt.
So you are doing it.
I
Yeah.
am doing it. So it's like, yeah, and
Yep.
then at the end, there's, the confirmation. But yeah, the first prompt, you're a technical copywriter specializing in writing market reports for Orange County real estate. Check out my site, Orange County Real Estate Housing Report. Go to these other sites and look for stuff, and then search the web for, anything that might have happened in real estate in the entire country this week. Did rates go up? Did rates go down?
So is that secret sauce, or would you be up for sharing that with people?
Yeah, yeah, no, that's fine. I'm down with that. I'll cut it down because it's 169 pages long.
Wow.
Because I keep all the reference.
So you paste this document into ChatGPT, which is like, hey, this is how we do it. And that document is 169 pages long because it has all the old reports, correct?
No, 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 I don't do
No,
that.
no.
I don't do that. I just give it this one prompt that is one page.
Okay.
But then when it spits it out, I paste that onto Google Docs. And then I edit everything on Google Docs before I put it onto my housing report page. I always worry there's some weird little AI watermark in my content so that Google will know that it's AI, and it's not. They don't do that, but still, I
Right.
put it onto Google Docs first anyways, and then I take all the formatting out of it and I edit it on Google Docs before I put it onto Real Geeks.
Got it. Yeah. So you're just passing it through like some editing layers. So 169 pages of market reports. So you've written a medium-sized book on Orange County real
But yeah,
estate.
also that's all live on the site, so people can
Yeah.
reference like what was the inventory at the start of this year? Like in Orange County, we had 2,000 properties for sale, which is really small. Now we're up to like 5,300. So you can go back, and when I'm saying this to people, like go back and look.
Awesome. Eric, this has been awesome. So if people liked what they just heard, how should they find you?
You can email me, Eric at ocrealestateinc.com. You can call me 949. Should I do that? 949-678-2400. That's my personal cell phone.
There you go. Yay. Everyone, this was an awesome episode. I love these like mastermind style talking to someone that's been around for years and years. If you have questions about all the stuff we talked about, obviously you can reach out to us or Eric or hit the comments down below. We read all of those, and we've been talking about doing some episodes where we just go through and answer questions. So if you've got some good questions, then leave them down below and we will definitely get them answered. Everyone, thanks for watching. Hit that subscribe button, and we'll catch you on the next one.